But first, another big story today is the start of early voting.
In our You Decide 2024 coverage, voters in Tulsa are deciding on a new mayor.
The candidates are County Commissioner Karen Keith and State Representative Monroe Nichols.
Last week, we brought you an unedited interview with Nichols. Today, Karen Keith stopped by FOX23 for her unedited interview. We gave both candidates equal time.
Here's Karen Keith, unedited, in her own words.
Joining me one more time before the big election day is Tulsa County Commissioner and mayoral candidate Karen Keith. Thanks for joining me today.
Hey, Rick, it's always good to be here.
My big question is, you've got 18,000 Brent Van Norman voters looking for a home. Yeah. What have you been doing to try to get these Republican voters over to you?
Well, I did meet with Brent Van Norman, and he has offered to help with my transition team, which means that he'll come in just for, it's a very short amount of time, but he will come in and with it's a whole long list of folks who are going to be helping me how we lay out the administration. And so I'm really excited to have that. The more voices you have as you build your administration, the better off you're going to be. So I've done that, and I've done a lot of outreach to all the different Republican groups out there, and I've gone to meet with them. And you know what's been kind of exciting is that there are so many things that we have in common. All the issues that we face on the local level, they're really not red or blue. It's the potholes, it's making sure that nobody calls our streets home, making sure we have enough law enforcement. It's all those issues, and they really aren't a Republican, Democrat, or independent issue. It's things that impact all of us.
I was going to say that we have seen some backlash on the Van Norman communication. Yeah. What do you say to those voters who are just like considering switching because of that?
I just think, you know, we are all for one in this deal, and we have to work together. And it's what I've done my entire career at Tulsa County, and then before with Bill LaFortune. That's the only way you get stuff done. You cannot put yourself in a partisan box and do the work that we have to do here at the local level. And the thing is, I enjoy doing the work. That's what I love to do, and I love getting the best people together to collaborate and do all the work.
I have gotten messages now on the other side of this from Republican voters who say they will pass on the municipal ballot.
Yeah.
They think, you know, two Democrats at the top, we're going to be the San Francisco of the South. What kind of assurances can you give them that there is a choice in this race?
Well, there absolutely is a choice, because I am somebody who is known for working across party lines, and my opponent that's why he can't pass any bills, because he's so hyper partisan. And this job is not partisan, and I will stand on that. And I have met and talked with some Republican voters who have said that to me, and I've kind of help them turn the corner. Some I have not. There are some who are just simply, I cannot vote for a Democrat. That's okay. But most of them, the Republicans I have talked to by and large, are coming around and actually out helping me, which feels so good. And I'm really excited about Tuesday.
I was going to say, what do the next few days look like for you? Knocking on doors, or?
It's a little bit of everything, but it's kind of what we've been doing the entire year. I mean, we just left 104.5 with Josh and Chuck, and it was like singing karaoke, which was, I have a terrible voice, so then I just started chanting it, which was better for everybody who was listening, I promise. But then I started, it was Let It Be, so I started talking about, hey, let it be over. And we had fun. It was nice. But we've got a lot of events between now and then just plain old knocking doors, and just trying to meet one-on-one with the voters and say, hello, please go vote.
I would be remiss if I didn't point out the negative ads that may even run in the commercial break before or after this airs. I don't have control over that.
Right.
How are you responding to the Tulsa Juvenile Justice Center concerns or even attacks against you?
Well, my opponent pushed that out on X early on, and it later claimed, oh, I've never said that. Well, yes, it was said early on, and that's sort of when you have dark money coming in, you're signaling to them that this is an issue. So that's what all this is. It's dark money. It's money out of Oklahoma City predominantly. We know the PAC. We know where it's coming from, and it's absolutely not true, period. It's all lies, and there are so many of our elected county officials, former and present, who are irate that this is going out, because there's just no truth to it. The judges and the State Office of Juvenile Affairs are over that facility. We built this wonderful facility, and I'm really proud now, because when all of this was happening, we took it over now. We have taken it over for the first time in 50 years, and I'm telling you, we've had to make some dramatic changes. dramatic changes. But I'm really excited. OJA is very happy with the path that we're on, and I absolutely feel good about what we're doing.
Aside from that one issue, have the issues remained the same? This has been a long campaign.
Yeah.
I mean, it started last summer.
This is that one thread they're trying to hang on to, even though they know this is not true, what they're sending out. They know that. I mean, a lawsuit was filed. The attorney that filed it, as part of their big campaign, maxed out twice to them. And so they have filed like 3 different amendments to it just to kind of drag it out, because we will likely be dismissed. But it's, it just is what it is. But I hope that the voters are more discerning than that. And we're hearing from voters who are saying, I'm disgusted by this. I mean, they know me. I've done a lot of work in this community over the last 20 years, working with Bill LaFortune and then as a county commissioner. I think they know me better than to think any of that is true.
Have the core issues stayed the same with the homelessness and things?
Yes, they have.
Okay.
And I would tell you, Mayor Bynum and our council, they are working hard on these issues. So whoever comes in has got to pick up the mantle from where they are and continue to move the needle forward. I'm right now working with some of the property owners downtown to get a low barrier shelter open in our old juvenile facility. I wanted to do this a year ago, and it just hasn't happened. I was trying to get cooperation from the city, but that's okay. These property owners say they will invest in making it actually livable and work, because there's 60 units in there where individuals could go. And we get the hot heat in the summer, and then we'll get a couple of weeks of super cold weather that's not sustainable for anybody living on our streets. So I really want to get that thing turned over as quickly as I can.
I've got about 30 seconds. Let's say somebody has been sitting on the couch the whole time. They have no idea. They're going to the polls on Tuesday. Why you? Make that 30-second pitch to me.
Okay. Well, over my tenure both at the city of Tulsa and Tulsa County, worked on Vision 2025, which absolutely transformed all of our downtowns. That's why they look like they do today. Proud that I was able to work on that. And then at Tulsa County, I've done everything from getting $200 million for the levies, and then I also got state funding as part of that. And so one of the legislators said in 3 days I did more than my opponent in 8 years, bringing that $50 million home from the legislature this spring. But building a juvenile center, getting dirt for Iron Gate when nobody else would take them, an industrial park in West Tulsa, mental health pods in the jail. There's just so much that I've done over the years with the collaboration of other people. It's never just flying solo, but on a lot of these projects I was a lead getting those things done. And I'm proud of the work I've done, and I think that's my secret sauce, that I like to work with people and collaborate and get the best people to the table, and it's what I will do going forward.
Commissioner Keith, we'll be watching on Tuesday. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
Now, last week, Rick interviewed Monroe Nichols, who's also running for Tulsa mayor. We do want to note, Nichols says the negative ads about the Juvenile Justice Center are not put out or paid for by his campaign. He says the PAC that is funding those ads can be clearly seen on them as they air, and Keith claims he has a hand in them are inaccurate. If you'd like to see Rick's unedited interview with Monroe Nichols, just go to fox23.com and click the You Decide 2024 tab at the top of the screen.